Welcome everyone to the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast, brought to you by Cass Consulting and Everbull Marketing. Today I have with us my lovely wife and Chief Operations Officer here at Everbull, Maripili.
Hi everybody. So today we're actually going to be talking about best practices to follow up and schedule your leads.
Yeah, so this is an actual subject that I'm really passionate about because part of working with our clients is that we're not just helping them generate new business opportunities into their practice, but we're helping them also implement better systems and operations to schedule more of those leads into actual appointments so you can have more consults and then more patients actually, getting treated at your practice, right? And so,
because let's be completely honest, like, why would you need so many leads if you're not gonna close them?
Yeah,
right?
100%. Like, leads are worthless if you don't have a system in place to convert more of those leads into actual appointments, consults, and then paying patients, right? And this is something that as a marketing agency, I'm really passionate about. And when other marketing agencies don't do this, it actually makes me very upset.
Yeah. And as chief operations, this is key. Like, we are so big on operations and systems and making things easier on yourself, your life, your staff as well. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we get results.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. Like, in your business, you should have these type of automations, because when you leave them to like humans, I'm a machine, I'm a robot, when you leave them to the human, you're gonna come across a lot of errors, what I mean? Like, it's just happens, right? Mistakes, right? It's part of being in business. People, as much as you want to try to have systems and operations, if you don't have automations in place, then your staff is busy, they're dealing with the day-to-day, and things fall through the cracks. It's just things that happen, right?
They're already doing so much.
Yeah, they're doing already so much. And we know, because we've gone to go visit our clients, we've seen how they operate, we know what their front desk, we talk to them. So we know that when we come in as an agency, we're helping them generate more more patient opportunities, and we tell them, hey, you need to follow up with them. That's like something else they have to do on top of everything else that they have to do already. And so for us, implementing these systems and these automations in their businesses is really important. And it's really great, guys, because, obviously one of the things that we know as well is that a lot of times you'll generate a lead through your website or through your marketing, and a lot of the practices that we talk to don't have the best conversion rates when it comes to turning leads into appointments. Like, a lot of the times people sign up and there's a lot of like leaks there, in that process. And so we feel we've kind of found like a really good system to help you guys convert more of those leads into appointments. And our clients right now get like as high as a 50, sometimes 60% lead to appointment rate, which is honestly our best record, what I mean? Like, I've been in this industry for 5 years now, working with med spas, and almost 10 years in business, and I've never seen it this high before, especially off of a cold lead, guys. I'm not talking about a referral, I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm talking about a cold lead, somebody who has never interacted with your business before. Seeing that conversion rate as high as 50% is really, really good. And
actually, if you do not know that number in your business, make sure to check out episode 28, where we talk all about the numbers that you should be tracking to grow.
And so that's one of the key numbers. I think it's number 2 or 3, I can't remember. But you need to be tracking what that conversion rate is, right? And so let's dive right into best practices, what you need to be doing so you can increase this number. Now, the first 2 things that I'm gonna tell you guys, I might blow you away, and you might think like, "Whoa, Luis, that's crazy. You're crazy.
How am I gonna do that?"
Yeah, how am I gonna do that? I'm gonna turn this episode off and I never listen to you again. Don't do that, please. First of all, and then just wait. These are considered best practices, guys. There's studies, there's research done. If you do these things, you're gonna get a way better result. But at the end of the episode, I'm going to talk to you about how automations, right? Because what I just said is that we get it. You're busy, right? We get that your staff is busy. So we've kind of found a really good system to help you get this 60% lead to appointment rate conversion. So the number one thing that I want to say is it's all in the follow-up, guys. Like, when you generate a new lead, you need to be following up 8 to 12 times to get as high as an 80% reach rate. You know, sometimes we call the lead, like you call the lead and you don't get a hold of them, right?
Yeah.
And people are afraid to follow up. Like in my experience, like we're very afraid to follow up a numerous number of times. And I know you're thinking like 8 to 12 times, that is crazy. And I get it, guys. Like if you're generating, let's say 50, 100 new patient opportunities a month, and I'm telling you to follow up 8 to 12 times, that's 800 phone calls. That's on the top end, 1,200 phone calls or contact points, right? Yes. And first of all, let me just say that, you know, they don't always have to be phone calls. You can have a multitude of touch points, you know? Yeah. So don't freak out on me, right? But that was the study that was done. I think it was a Harvard study that said that you have an 80% reach rate, so actually getting in contact with that person, once you follow up between 8 to 12 times, right? And so that's the first statistics that I want to make you guys aware of. Now, the other statistics so you guys can get a higher reach rate is that you want to follow up, as soon as a lead is generated, you want to follow up between the first 5 to 15 minutes.
Yes.
Super important. And you want to make, well, why? Well, first of all, is that if somebody signs up, then it's most likely they're in front of a computer or they're in front of their phones.
Yeah.
So if you can follow up with them within the first 5 minutes, you're going to see the highest reach rate. I can't recall what the numbers were, but the longer you wait, then the higher the chances are of you actually getting in contact with that person.
And I want to mention something here, because a lot of our practices ask us like, okay, well, how am I gonna do this like 8 to 12 times and within the first 5 to 15 minutes?
Yeah,
and like we said, automations for sure. But the other thing about it is that how are they reaching out to you? I feel like you should be reaching out to them first. Mm-hmm. So if you're starting this conversation through text message or through your website, you should reach out through that website first, or through that text message. If they're calling you, obviously, like if they're establishing that communication first through a call, then calling them is the best practice there. Yeah. So just making sure that where are they coming from and getting that communication going within that same medium.
Yeah. So really, really good, guys. So again, those two things are going to definitely impact greatly your reach rate, your contact rate, and then the number of people, the more people you get in contact with, then by default, the more people you'll be able to actually schedule for an appointment, right?
And the other thing that I know you did mention, but I definitely want to kind of like emphasize is that those 8 to 12 times, like Luis said, it's not just about calling them, because you don't want to sound like a nag either, right? It has to be like a couple of meetings.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you have to call 8 to 12 times within the first 15 minutes, guys. Right. I'm not saying that either, okay? Yes. No. You want to do that within, I would say, like a 7 or 14 day span, right? Yeah. And so, okay, now I'm going to tell you how we do it here at L1, how we implement, you know, these same best practices in a way that is not annoying and that we're actually helping our clients get such a good result, right? Yeah. There's a system. I mean, and
there's a strategy.
Yeah, there's a strategy behind it. There is specific software that we use that helps our clients do this, and it's actually a software that we're co-developing called Patient Gem. Yeah. We've talked about it in some of our previous episodes. We have a link to it right now. We have a 2-week free trial that you guys can sign up for. But this is the tool, guys. This is the tool that's helping our clients get this 50-60% lead to appointment rate. It
just makes everything so easy.
Yeah, it's making it super easy. It's giving you the metrics that you need in your business to grow it. What we talked about in one of our other episode 28, right? And so the cool thing is that whenever we generate a lead for our clients, then the lead goes inside of Patient Gem, and then a system is triggered to follow up with that lead, right? And so we do a series of 3 things. It's a series of text messages, of emails, and of what we call ringless voicemails, right? And so I'll explain what that is. And so we implement a sequence of about, I want to say 14 days that gets sent out automatically to the client, so we can have those 8 to 12 touch points without really the client having to do a lot of work. I mean, we do recommend our clients to call the leads, but instead of calling them 8 to 12 times, you're only calling them, you know, at least 3 times. If you want to call them as much as 5 times, and that's also recommended. But, you know, the text messages are actually helping out a lot, Because text message, guys, has a 98% open rate.
Yeah. People live with their phones all the time.
Yeah, people are going to see the text message. And even sometimes when you call, like what's going to happen, like either somebody's at work, they're picking up their kids, they're driving, they
don't know the number.
They don't know the number and they're not going to pick up. Yeah. Like really, a lot of people don't pick up their phones nowadays. If I don't know who's calling me, I do not answer that phone call. I wait for them to leave me a voice message, and if I like who it is, I'll call them back. You know what I mean, right? Like, and so if not, text me, right? And that's the thing. Like, text message is huge, and that's why we use it in our business.
Yeah.
And so
it's just so much more convenient.
Yeah, a lot more convenient. People actually prefer it, guys. That's the thing. People prefer to communicate with you through text message. And so within the first 3 minutes of a lead signing up, we'll send them a text message. We'll send them another text message 6 hours later, then a day later, 2 days later, 3 days later, and then 4 days later. Yeah. And I'm not saying from that first day. I'm saying that like after day 1, we wait 2 days and then send them another message. Right. We wait 3 days, send them another message. We wait 4 days, send them another message. And that's how it gets to be around 14 days, right?
And it sounds like a lot, but just think about it like in your lifestyle. Like if you want to go buy something and then you might not end up doing it for whatever reason, your kid or whatever the reason might have been, and then you just kind of like forget about it. But then you get this reminder, you're like, oh yeah, let me go ahead and do that. You're about to buy it and then something else happens, you don't. Like just think about your lifestyle and how this, you're gonna, like we were talking about in another episode, let's just make it easy for your clients or customers to make sure to
do business with you. Do business with you. Yeah, that's it. Make it easy for them to do business with you.
Definitely.
And really, guys, we have people that appreciate the fact that we follow up with them so much. Like, they're thankful because, again, they have busy lifestyles and they're working on stuff. So it really works out great. Now, I want to say that it really goes back down to how you're sending that text message and what you're saying is key.
Yeah.
Because you can be very annoying with text message, or you can be very, you can build a relationship through text message. And so it really, also keep an eye out for what you're saying, because it can be a little bit too much, but you have to watch out for what you're saying. Now, on top of that too, we're also sending out a series of emails. So we have a series of 8 emails that get sent out, and those are all touch points, right? Mm-hmm. So again, we send those across a 14-day span as well. And the first few emails are very, call to action-y, right? They're trying to get them to book an appointment. Yeah. But then they're also very educational, guys. Yeah. Like, understand that when somebody also signs up as a lead, they're not always ready to make a decision right then and there, but they want to learn more about the practice. They want to learn more about the service.
Especially if it's a service that is a little bit more costly.
Yeah, definitely a little bit more expensive. It's a bigger investment than, understand that there's some nurturing involved. There's some education as well. And so you want to have those 2 systems in place. Now, the third one that I mentioned, which was the ringless voicemails. Ringless voicemail, it's literally just that. We leave a voicemail without the phone ever ringing, which is pretty cool. So like what happens is that the person will get a notification that they've received a new voicemail, and they can actually go and listen to it. And the way we do that is through Patient Gem. We auto record a voicemail, and then the system sends it to their phone, and they get pinged that they have a voicemail that they can then listen to, which is really, really cool. And so again, guys,
it's almost like leaving a voice text message.
Yeah, almost like a voice text message, right? So really, really neat. And aside from that, guys, you also want to call them, right? You want to call them at least 3 times, like I said. But even at that, I want to say that some of our clients still get as high as a 50% close rate. Lead to appointment ratio. And they're not even calling their leads. All they're doing is texting them. And people show up, guys. Like, people are actually showing up for their consultation.
They're ready to buy, or they're ready to learn more. They're even excited about it. Yeah,
so that's really, really cool. And so that's the thing, guys. Have these automations in your business. You can do it through Patient Gem. So like I said, if you go to gopatientgem.com, or there's a link here, you can sign up for a 2-week free trial, and then you'll set up a call with us, and we can actually help you implement these systems in your business. Yeah. So if you guys have questions, let us know. Leave us a review. Join us on Facebook. And we'll catch you next time on the Med Spa Accelerator Podcast. Thank you, and have a great day.
Bye.